Hello children, welcome to Talking Textbooks Leaving No Child Behind. So here you can see our awesome team which is here to give you quality level education, right? And these are the different courses that we are offering, that is for class 6 to 8 Olympiad, school level examinations we'll be covering, NTSC, NSC, JSP, RMO, all this you can see, right? So you can go to our website, which is www.talkingtextbooks.in, and you can see the other packages as well, which are for other subjects. I mean for science, and like it'll be for overall all the subjects of like science and as well as maths. These packages are for science and maths, and for like 6 to 8 classes this is 9,000 is the highest price. So what all you will be getting, you'll be getting the study material, recorded classes, homework checking, like homework submission would be there on Google Classroom, daily quizzes would be there, periodic test would be there. All this you'll get in just 6,300 if you'll use my code, that is AB Live. If you use my code AB Live, you can get that all amount in 6,300, right? And you can pay through any of these options like credit, debit, net banking. It is up to you. Still, if you have any query related to all these packages, then you can call on this number, that is 9549041111. You can call on these numbers, right? Moving on, these are our Telegram channels. Say for if we talk about class 6, then it will be TTB 06, 07, 08, and so on for other classes, right? So you can like you can tell to your relatives as well, your friends. You can tell them as well to join this, right? And which is actually very affordable, right? So before starting, we'll be taking the cardinal promise. Please take it, and then we'll start with the lecture, which is on number theory today. So I hope you've taken it. So let's start the first chapter, that is number theory. We'll be starting. It is very important to study number theory. Why? Because the base of mathematics is numbers itself, and we should be knowing about the like basic properties of numbers, right? And like what are the prerequisites are simple. You should be knowing about types of numbers, then fractions, how do we add, subtract, and that. These are the basic things that you would be like you should know before starting. And what we'll like what would be the learning outcome, that would be that definitely we'll be learning about the properties of prime numbers which are used, then again of even and odd. We'll be doing V Bodmer's rule, which is there, the types of different fractions, right? So we'll be seeing all that. We'll be doing certain questions as well, which has come in earlier examinations, right? So let's start with the question. Let's start this lecture with the question. This question has come in 2018. This question has come in 2018 primary test paper, like primary exam of NMTC. So let's do this question. The value of this is being asked, 1 plus 21 plus 41. Then it is plus. This is plus, right? Plus 61 plus 81 minus 11 minus 31 minus 51 minus 71 is. So how are we going to attempt this? See, what are we going to write? We'll be making pairs of it. How? 1 minus 11 plus 21 minus 31 plus 41 minus 51 plus 61 minus 71 plus 81 minus 91. So what does this become? See, if we want to calculate this, this becomes minus 10. Again, this is also minus 10. Then this is also minus 10. Again, this is minus 10. Then this is also minus 10. So how many times do we have minus 10? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this sums up to be what? Minus 50, because minus is common in this sum. So obviously this is minus 50, right? So our correct answer would be option number A. Clear, children? Let's do next question. Look at this, has come in 2019. This question has come in 2019 NMTC primary. So let's do this question. Look at the set of numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10 and 12. This is given to us. 4 numbers are selected from this and made into 2 pairs, right? The pairs are added and the resulting 2 numbers are multiplied. The smallest such product is. Now, see, it is saying we need to find the smallest such product. So obviously we are going to take the smallest of these numbers among the numbers which are given to us. So we'll be taking what? Numbers we'll be taking as what? 2, 3, 5 and 7. We'll be selecting these. Then it says 4 numbers are selected from this and made into 2 pairs. The pairs are added. Now let's add the pairs and then the resulting 2 numbers are multiplied. So let's add these pairs, right? What we'll get by adding 2 plus 3, and we are supposed to multiply this with the sum of the second pair. So this is 5 and this is how much is this? 7 and 12, right? So this gives me how much? 60, right? So my correct answer would be 60 here. Clear, children? So these were just 2 questions that we did. We'll be starting with the lecture. See, so starting we'll be doing what? We'll be learning about the types of different numbers, right? We'll be studying about the classification. We'll be studying about the classification of numbers, starting with very basic. First is what? Natural number. First is natural number, which is what? Basically all the counting numbers. All the counting numbers are what? Natural numbers. Now since we cannot count negative, see, if I say that there are -6 or -6 balls in a basket or -6 chocolates in a bag, so like it doesn't make any sense, right? Because if there has to be something, if I'm counting something, means if there is something is present somewhere, then it has to be counted. Like I should be able to count it, and if it is countable, then it has to be positive, right? So all the counting numbers are what? Natural numbers. It is denoted by n. It is denoted by capital N, and its range starts from 1. Obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 up till you like, right? So all these are what? Natural numbers. Now I can say that 1 is the smallest number. Then 1 is the smallest number, right? This is an important thing. Second is whole numbers. Now what are whole numbers? When we annex 0 with natural number, that becomes whole numbers, right? So whole number is denoted by capital W and it starts from 0. 0 is the smallest whole number, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, right? So here 0 is the smallest number. I can say that 0 is the smallest whole number, and here it is natural number, n. 1 is the smallest, n, that is natural number. So like I can say that all the natural numbers are whole numbers, but all whole numbers are not natural numbers, right? I can say this. Next, third is integers. So what are integers? Negative numbers plus whole numbers. Negative numbers plus whole numbers are what? Integers. So it is denoted by I or Z. Capital I or Z. And how does it start? -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Right? All these are what? Integers. Right? So integers can be again divided into 3 types. It can be divided into 3 types, and what are they? See, what are they? positive integers, then negative integers, and what? 0. Right? 0 is neither negative nor positive. Right? So positive integers can be with which by default we do not write anything in front of them. We do not mention the sign. So 71, 42, 9, all these are what? Positive integers. Negative integers are -5, -3, and so on. Right? All these are negative integers, and then 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Right? Moving on, let's talk about even numbers. Just a second. Let's talk about even numbers. So what are even numbers? All the integers divisible, all the integers divisible by 2 are even numbers, right? So what can be the example? What can be the example? 4, 6, 12, 72, 42, 90, right? And so on. All these are divisible by 2. Hence, they are even numbers. And if I talk about odd numbers, all the integers which are not divisible by 2, all the integers which are not divisible by 2, which are not divisible by 2. So these are what? These are all what? Odd numbers. So what can be the example? Say 71 or 3, 5, 9, right? All these are what? Odd numbers. Correct? These are not divided by 2. Completely divided by 2. So there are certain properties of it. Let's study those. There are certain properties of it. Properties of even odd. What are they? Let's see. First property says even into even gives us even. Okay, let's take an example. 12 into 6, 72. Right? Second, let's talk about the second property. These are important properties, children, because many times question comes which require this information, right? And it is hidden. It is actually it becomes a critical step, and it is hidden, that we need to understand that we are supposed to use these properties there, right? So odd into odd gives us what? Odd. Let me take 5 into 3 is what? 15. Right? Right now it is like it is being like shown that it is very easy, but then it has to click during the examination, right? So third property is odd into even. Odd into even is definitely even. Very easy example is 2. If you multiply 2 with any number, you get an even answer. Always we know this, right? So next property is even plus even gives us even. See, if I write 6 plus 4 is what? 10. Right? Next property is odd plus odd is also even. Say 13 plus 5. 18. This is also even. Then next property is odd plus even gives us odd. Odd plus even gives us odd. Let's say 13 plus 12. 25. It gives us odd. So these are the basic properties which are very important for us to understand, right? And like we should be knowing about it, right? Moving on, let's talk about rational numbers now. Let's talk about rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? Rational numbers are numbers which can be written in the P by Q form. See, these are set of real numbers set of real numbers which can be written in the p by q form, in the p by q form, where, important thing is, where p and q are integers, p and q are integers and q is not equals to 0. Okay, this denominator should not be 0, right children? So I can take any example, say minus 7 upon 11 or 2 upon 3 or minus 5 or minus 1 upon 23 or say 63 upon 2, right? So all these are basically what? Rational numbers. Again, they are divided into 3 types, right? So what are those 3 types? Positive rational numbers, negative rational numbers and 0. So positive rational numbers can be which has same sign in numerator and denominator, right? Which has same sign in numerator and denominator means if I go about in this itself, that is 2 by 3, 63 by 2 or let's say 25 by minus 9. So all these are what? Positive rational numbers. Why? Because this has positive in numerator and denominator. Again, this has negative in numerator, negative in denominator. If I talk about negative rational numbers, then different signs in numerator and denominator, obviously, right? So minus 11 upon 29 or 56 upon minus 47. So all these are what? Negative rational numbers where the like sign is different in numerator and denominator. Here it is negative, this is positive and negative. And 0, it is neither negative, it is neither negative nor positive, right? So 0 is neither negative nor positive. So this was about rational numbers. So what all comes in rational numbers? All the, you saw minus 5 as well, right? So we do not have any denominator in it. We cannot see any denominator. So that means I can write it like this as well. Minus 5 upon 1. I can write it like this as well. So this has also become a rational number because we have denominator as well. We have denominator as well here as 1, right? So this is again a rational number. So I can say, what can I say? That natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and like all these belong to what? All these belongs to rational numbers. These all belong to rational numbers. Rational number is denoted by Q. It is denoted by Q. Okay, so they all belong to rational numbers, right? Next, we talk about real numbers. So real numbers are all the numbers which can be represented on the number line. They are used to represent actual physical quantities. They are used to represent actual physical quantities. And like they can be represented on the number line. So these are what? These are all what? Real numbers, right? So everything, like all the natural numbers, all the whole numbers, all the integers, all the fractions, rational numbers, everything comes in real numbers, right? Everything belongs to real numbers. So a real number is denoted by what? Real number is denoted by R. So everything, like if I want to give an example, minus 2 by 3, minus 9, or 5, or 0, or 2, 1 by 3, all this comes in real numbers. All this belongs to real numbers, right? Even if I want to write decimal 7.29, all this comes in real numbers, right? These all can be represented. These all are used to represent our actual quantities which we see around, right? So this is known as, these are all known as real numbers. Let's talk about prime numbers now. So we all know what are prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers which have only two factors. They have only such numbers which have only two factors. Such numbers which have only two factors. And what are those factors? And what are those factors? One, which are 1 and the number itself, and the number itself. All those are known as what? Prime numbers. All those are known as prime numbers. So if I talk about 1 to 100, there are 25. If I talk about 1 to 100, there are in total 25 prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. All these are what? All these are prime numbers. Right? All these are prime numbers. So in total, if I talk about 1 to 100, there are total 25 prime numbers, right? So there are certain properties of prime numbers. What are those? Let's talk about properties of prime numbers. Let's talk about properties of prime numbers. Important properties. So what are those? Or you can say important points, right? These are not basically properties. Let's not call them properties, but important points, right? Important points of prime numbers. So what are those? See, every number greater than 1 can be divided at least by one prime number, right? Every number which is greater than 1, which is greater than 1, can be divided. Every number which is greater than 1 can be divided by at least one prime number. At least one prime number, obvious, right? Second property is what? Every even positive integer. Every even positive integer. Every even positive integer greater than 2. Greater than 2 can be written as the sum of two prime numbers, let's take an example. Let's say if I talk about 10, so how can I write it? 3 plus 7, right? If I talk about let's say 18, so how can I write this? I can write it like this: 7, 13, 13 plus 7 is this, 13 plus 5, 13 plus 5 is 18. So in this way you can write what? Even numbers, even positive integers in the form of addition of or sum of two prime numbers, right? And third important point is that 2 is the smallest. 2 is the smallest and only even prime number. And only even prime number. Other all. Rest are all odd. Rest are all odd. Right? So let's do few questions related to this. Let's do few questions which has come in the examinations. Let's do this. Okay. So this has come in 2019. This question has come in 2019. What does the question says? The question says the number of odd prime numbers, the number of odd prime numbers, the number of odd prime numbers less than 100, which can be written as, the sum of two squares is. This was the question in 2019 NMTC primary. So how are we going to do? See, the number of odd prime numbers. How many prime numbers are there less than 100 which can be written as the sum of two squares? I haven't written squares, so I just said it. Sum of two squares is. What is it? This we are supposed to calculate. So since it is saying odd, so we are not supposed to take 2. We cannot take 2 in this, right? We cannot take 2 in this. So we'll start with 3. 3 we cannot write, right? 5. 3 would be what? 2 square plus 1. It won't be. So starting with 5. 5 could be written as 2 square plus 1. Right? It is sum of two squares. Then it is not saying that it has to be sum of prime numbers. Like prime number has to be that number which is sum of square of two numbers. So after 5 comes 7. So we cannot write that as well. 7 cannot be written again, right? Because that is 4 plus 3. So we cannot write that. Then comes 13. So we can write 13 as 3 square plus 2 square. That is 9 plus 4, right? So this is also there. Then next is 17. We can write 17 as well. How? That is 4 square, 16 plus 1. 1 square and 1 is 1 and the same thing only. Then another can be 29. 29 could be written as it could be written as 5 square. 25 plus then 4, that is 2 square. So we can write it like that. Next is 37. 37 could be written as 36. 6 square plus 1. 36 6 square plus 1. Then 41. So this could be written as 41. 5 square 25 plus 16 plus 4 square. This could be written like this. Then is 53. Next is 53. So 53 could be written as 7 square. 7 square, that is 49. 49 and 4. 49 and 4, that is 2 square. After 53, say 61. So 61 could be written as 5 square 25 plus 36. So 6 square. Then 73. 73 could be written. So it could be 73. So 1 less than that is 64. 64. 8 square is 64 and 64 plus it would be 9. So 3 square 73. Then another prime number would be 89. 89 again, 8 square plus this could be added to 8 square 64 and 5 25. So 5 square after 89 it will be 97, which is the like last prime number from 1 to 100, right? And we are supposed to calculate less than 100 only. So 97 is the number. Then that 9 9 is 81. 81. So 9 square plus 81 and 4 square 16. So these are what? These are all the prime numbers. So let's count. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So there could be 11 such prime numbers. There could be 11 such prime numbers which could be written in this format, right? Let's do next question. Let's do one more question. This has also come in 2019, right? This is also come in 2019. So the question says triples of odd numbers ABC with A less than B less than C, with ABC from 1 to 10. Only from 1 to 10 we are supposed to take, are generated such that A plus B plus C is prime number. Okay. So we are supposed to take the the question is not completed. Wait. The number of such triplets, right? So we are supposed to take three numbers, like we are supposed to take a group of three numbers where A should be less than, means one number should be less than the other and the third number should be greater than the second. So we are supposed to take it like that with A, B, C, and we are supposed to take it between 1 to 10 only, from 1 to 10 only, right? And these have to be odd numbers. It is saying these have to be odd numbers. So let's take all the odd numbers. So ABC could be what? So ABC could be what? ABC could be what? It could be 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9, right? Because it is saying from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10 we are supposed to take only odd numbers. So these are all the odd numbers between 1 to 10. Now we are supposed to make pairs of it. Let's make possible pairs. Let's make the possible pairs, which gives us what? That when we add these three numbers, the resultant is a prime number, right? We are supposed to make the combinations. Such combinations we are going to make that the sum of these three is going to become what? A prime number. So let's start. Let's say first we can write 1 plus 3 plus 7, that is again 11. Next possible pair could be 1 plus 3 plus 9, which is 13. Next possible prime number could be 3 plus 5 plus 9, which is again what? 17. Another possible pair could be 1 plus 7 plus 9, which is what? 17 again. right? See, answer is coming same, but then these are two different pairs, right? Pairs are different, right? Means the combination is different, not pair. Combination is different. Combination of triple is different. 3 plus 7 plus 9 again, which gives us what? 19. And 1 plus 5 plus 7. 1 plus 5 plus 7. We haven't used this as well, have we? 1 plus 5 plus 7. No, we haven't. So this gives us how much? 13. Right? So these all are prime numbers. These all resultant are prime numbers. And how many triples did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So their total how many? Their total 6 triples, right? So total, the number of such triple is how much? It is 6. 6 are there. Right, children? I hope you have understood. Okay. Let's start with the further thing. Let's do one more question when like it is related to unitary method. Right? It is related to unitary method, but it has come in again 2019. This is a question of 2019 again, right? And it is based on simple unitary method. So what does it says? It says how many glasses of 120 milliliters. It is basically on unit conversion actually. It is on unit conversion as well as unitary method. How many glasses of 120 milliliter can you fill from a 3-liter can of juice, right? And options are given as 20, 24, 25 and 60 and 60, right? So let's do it. See, how many glasses of 120 milliliter can you fill from 3-liter can of juice? So ultimately, see, the first thing that we will do here is to make the make the unit same, right? So 3-liter would be how much? 3000 milliliter. It will be 3000 milliliter. So how many glasses of 120 milliliters? So if 120 milliliter is basically like 120 milliliter comes in one glass, right? So 3000 liters can come in, 3000 milliliters can come in 3000 upon 120. Simple, right? 3000 upon 120. So how much this becomes? This is 25 times. So this is 25. So our answer would be C here, means 25 glasses could be filled. 25 in 3 liters, 25 glasses could be filled. Clear, children? Clear? Moving on, let's talk about other numbers as well, other types of numbers as well. Let's talk about coprime. Right, we have studied prime. Let's talk about coprime now. Let's talk about coprime numbers. So what are coprime numbers? These are the numbers which have HCF as 1. See, such pairs of numbers which have HCF as 1. Those are known as what? Coprime numbers. Now it is not necessary that they have to be what? They have to be like prime only. Why? See, let me give you an example. If I take say 4 and 9, right? So again, Is there a common factor between 4 and 9? No, we do not find any common factor. But again, 4 is composite. 4 and 9 both are composite numbers. Composite means they have more than two factors, that is 1, 2 and 4, and of 9 it is 1, 3 and 9, right? So this has three factors, this also has three factors, means these both are composite. So it is not necessary that both the numbers have to be what? Both the numbers have to be prime only, right? So all these are what? Co-prime numbers. So important thing here is all the prime numbers, all the pair of prime numbers, just a second, all the pairs of prime numbers are co-prime. Obviously, they are going to be co-prime. If I talk about 3 and 17, right, or 5 and 19, so all these prime numbers are going to be co-prime. Second, all the consecutive numbers are co-prime. That is also true. All the consecutive numbers are also co-prime. Why? 1, 2, 9, 10, 41, 42, 41, 42. So all these are what? All these are what? Consecutive numbers, one after the other, and they do not have anything in common other than 1. So these are also what? Co-prime numbers. And composite numbers can be co-prime if and only if their HCF is what? 1, right? So this was about co-prime numbers. Clear, children? Let's talk about twin primes now. What are twin prime numbers? Twin prime numbers. Let's talk about twin prime numbers. So such prime numbers, these are such pairs of prime numbers which have one composite number. Such pairs of prime numbers which have only one composite number, only one composite number between them. Only one composite number between them. Clear, children? Such pairs of prime numbers which have only one composite number between them. So such are known as what? Such numbers are known as twin prime numbers. What could be the example? 3 and 5. So there is 4 between. 5 and 7. There is 6 between. 11 and 13. There is 12 between. 15 and 17. So there is 15 is not a prime number. 15 is not a prime number, right? One more example we can take, say 41 and 43. 41 and 43. So there are many. Basically, there are many twin prime numbers which have what? Which have one composite number between them. These are all what? Prime numbers. Then let's talk about composite numbers. So what are composite numbers? All the numbers which are not prime, are composite. Which are not prime are what? Are composite. All the numbers which are not prime are what? They are composite. Obviously, second definition could be what? Numbers which have factors which have factors more than 2, right? Which have factors more than 2, or which have like more number of factors, like greater than 2 factors, right? Those are all what? Composite numbers. So there can be many examples. Numbers which are not prime. 4 could be there, 9, 6, 15, 25, then 42, then there are many, right? A lot many numbers are composite numbers. Next is identification of prime numbers. Next topic is identification of prime numbers. Identification of prime numbers. See, so we know we are supposed to learn, or we know that up till 2 to 100, up till 2 to 100, there are 25 prime numbers which we should know, and we can also 2 to 100, there are 25 prime numbers which we know, like we have learned that we can take it out by sieve of Eratosthenes, right? So we know that from that we can calculate, or we know from that we can reduce all those 25 prime numbers. But if they are greater than 100, right? If it is greater than 100, then what we can do? Greater than 100, for numbers greater than 100, what we can do? We will calculate, we will take out a number, like we'll take out a square number. Basically we will take out approximate square. Basically we will take out approximate, just a second, we will take out approx square of, we will take out approx square of the given number, approx square root of the given number. We are supposed to find that, right? So and then all the prime numbers, then divide, basically then divide all the prime numbers, or divide all the prime numbers less than the approx square root, right? This is the procedure. Let's take an example. Let's say if I talk about 701, so it is closer to 729, it is closer to 701 is closer to 729, which is what? Square of 27. It is square of 27. So what can I say? That all the prime numbers less than 27, I'm supposed to I'll be doing what? Just a second. All the prime numbers less than 27, I'll try and divide this with 701. So all the prime numbers less than 27 are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 13, then 17, 19, 23, right? So these are all less than 27. These are all less than 27. So I'll be dividing. See, can I divide 2 with this? No, because last is 1. 3 I cannot divide because summation is 8. Again 5 not. Then I cannot divide it with 7 as well. It is not divisible with, not even with 8. 13, it does not go with 13 as well. So 17, 19, 23. Divide it and you will know that it is not divisible by any of it. So this becomes what? It is a prime number. Not divisible by any of it. So it is a prime number. Right? Let me take one more example. Let's say I took 499. Right, so this 499 is somewhat closer to 529. It is closer to 529, which is again square of what? 20, 23. It is square of 23. So I'll write all the prime numbers less than 23. Again 2, 3, 5, 7, all these are there. Less than 23 are up till 19. Right, so just do it. Let's calculate it. So is it divisible by 2? No. 3? No, it is not. Then 5? No, obviously not. 7 sevens are 49? No. 11? No, it is not divisible. See, odd, it is more. The addition is coming more. 13? It is not divisible. 17? No. And 19? No. So it is not divisible. Since it is not divisible, since it is not divisible by any number, so it is what? It is a prime number. It is a prime number. Clear, children? Is this clear? Let's end up this lecture here itself. We'll be doing the types of fraction, means regarding the fraction, V bottomless, and the other things in the next lecture. Alright, children? So this is it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it. Thank you. Bye-bye.